Nigel Farage is the Brexit leader. He's the great free speaker on GB News, which you can find on Flash, and he joins us every single week. The only place you'll see him on Aussie TV is here, and that annoys the lefties, which means let's get him on the telly right now. Nigel, nice to talk to you. You're in the middle of a heat wave right now.
Thank you.
Guess what? Energy going through the roof.
Yeah, that's right. The price of energy going through the roof. And this is not just, of course, because of Ukraine. It's because right across the Western world, we've all decided we've got to go green. And when the leaders get together at G20 summits, they all make these promises and we invest in renewable technologies. We use taxpayers' money to do it. And then we find, lo and behold, in Texas, 18 months ago, the power went out. We're facing the prospects of power rationing this winter coming up for us, and it's happening right now in Australia. And it goes to show that, frankly, we're being led in the Western world by a bunch of idiots who are part of this green hysteria. And in a world more reliant on electricity because of computers and digitizations, it's hard to believe how bad our leaders are.
But also, under any circumstances, when you make life for the public harder, you would imagine that the political consequences become absolute. But strangely, after lockdowns, some people's political futures went up. I don't understand how there isn't the loudest voices being said from the quietest streets in the UK, in Australia, stop doing this to us.
Yes, but you see, there are no political consequences because almost the entirety of the political class are signed up to the idea that we're all going to be dead within about 10 years unless we make massive changes to our energy supply. By the way, they've all forgotten the fact that this year coal has risen more in price than oil, natural gas, nickel or any other commodity, and that's because India and China this year between them will burn 4 billion tons of coal. So we've got ourselves into this absolutely crazy mess. The left and the right, or most of the left and the right, agree that climate change is the most important threat mankind faces, ignoring the fact that countries like yours and countries like mine, the amount of CO2 we produce is minute anyway compared to those big industrial powers.
But I love, again, someone decides to Google around and they say that the point that you just made, or that I make often, about the real polluters being places like China, like India, is some form of climate denialism. No, it's a direct comparison about what is happening. And the true problem is that if you want to go and campaign, forget going to your local financial institution, stop screaming on Twitter, feel free to go down to the Chinese consulate and see how that goes.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we've got people here gluing themselves to the roads in London. Insulate Britain, they're called. I mean, a bunch of nutters, if you ask me. And I've said to a few of them that I've met, go to the Chinese embassy. Try and get a visit to Beijing, go and do it. None of them will do it. They haven't got the guts. And basically, let's be honest about it. Green politics is just the new form of Marxism, and they're using climate fear, which, by the way, is being spread in our schools and universities. There's no critical thinking on this subject at all. And this is now their tool with which to take control of our lives, to tax us to pieces and to damage capitalism. That's really what's going on. It's green on the outside, but it's very red on the inside.
Bloody oath. Middle stump, Nigel Farage from the London Inn. Thank you very much, mate. I do appreciate it. We'll see you again next week.